Hi everybody. Tonight on my YouTube art tutorial channel, I'm going to try something completely different. This is going to go out on day 10 of the UK school closures. This is my 4-year-old Esmae. She's going to be a brilliant audience, aren't you?
Yes.
You're going to listen to the bedtime story. This is one of my favourites, Oi Frog, by Kes Gray and Jim Field. If you've seen any of my other videos, I've already drawn and shown you how to do the frog, Oi Frog, from Jim Field's art, who I think is brilliant. Is a brilliant illustrator. So, after we've read it, I'm then going to draw something so that you guys can follow my instruction to draw something from here. Okay, and over the next few weeks I might choose some more characters from Oi Frog and Oi Dog and Oi Cat, the 3 books, some of the 3 of the best books that I think have been written for children. Okay. Oi Frog by Kes Gray and Jim Field. Oi Frog, sit on a log, said the cat. But I don't want to sit on a log, said the frog. Logs are all knobbly and uncomfortable, and they can give you splinters in your bottom. I don't care, said the cat. You're a frog, you must sit on a log. Cat, can't I sit on a mat? Asked the frog. Only cats sit on mats, said the cat. What about a chair? Said the frog. I wouldn't mind sitting on a chair. Hares sit on chairs, said the cat. Hares sit on chairs. Perhaps I could sit on a stool, said the frog. Mules sit on stools, said the cat. What about a sofa? Said the frog. I could stretch right out on a sofa. Gophers sit on sofas, said the cat. It's very simple, really. Cats sit on mats, hares sit on chairs, mules sit on stools, gophers sit on sofas, and frogs sit on logs. What do lions sit on? Asked the frog. Lions sit on irons, said the cat. Ouch, said the frog. What do parrots sit on? Parrots. Correct. Parrots sit on carrots, said the cat. Lions sit on irons and parrots sit on carrots. Doesn't sound very comfortable, said the frog.
Foxes sit on boxes.
Yeah, wait there. It's not about being comfortable, said the cat. It's about doing the right thing. What do foxes sit on? Asked the frog. Thanks. Wait there. Foxes sit on
Boxes,
said the cat. Foxes sit on boxes and fleas sit on peas. Fleas sit on peas. What about goats? What do goats sit on? Asked the frog. Goats sit on... No. Goats... Oh, okay, you're right. Goats sit on coats. Goats sit on coats. Cows sit on ploughs. And storks sit on forks. That wouldn't be very comfortable, would it, Esmae?
gorillas sit on pillars.
Okay, thanks. Gorillas sit on... Asked the frog. Gorillas sit on pillars, said the cat. Gorillas sit on pillars. Rats sit on hats. Weasels sit on easels. And moles sit on... Poles. Well done. Love this book. It rhymes really good. What do seals sit on? Asked the frog. Don't you know anything? Said the cat. Seals sit on wheels. Doves sit on gloves. Newts sit on flutes. Lizards sit on wizards. And apes sit on grapes. That's what kind of an ape is that? It's an orangutan. Yeah, well done. Okay, what about puffins? Asked the frog.
Sit on muffins.
Puffins sit on muffins, said the cat. Puffins sit on muffins, snakes sit on cakes, owls sit on towels, gibbons sit on ribbons, lambs sit on jams, bees sit on keys, and pumas sit on satsumas. Well, I never knew that, said the frog. Well, you do now, said the cat. What do dogs sit on? Asked the frog. I was hoping you weren't going to ask that, said the cat. Help! Dogs sit on... Excellent, and that is the end. Esmae, which one is your favourite frog on this page? There's lots of frogs. Be careful. Oh, he's sitting on the toilet. Brilliant. Okay, I'm going to choose something now. I'm going to choose something to draw tonight for everybody on my YouTube channel.
And
I think that would be a really good idea. I'm going to draw one of these puffins sitting on muffins. Well, that one. Maybe that one. Okay. Right, so...
do the one on the chocolate muffin.
The one with the chocolate muffin on. Okay, that one. Brilliant. I'll have a go at that. Okay, so see you later, guys. Okay, guys, so I'm going to just show you quickly how to do Jim Field's Puffin on a muffin. So we're going to curve around like this. We'll do it quite small so I can do it quickly. You can do it much bigger than this if you want to. We're going to go for a beak looking like this. It's going to curve it round at the end. Okay, you don't want too much of a point. Then we're going to draw this down a little bit further. We're going to go across like this, and then it's going to go down slightly, and then I'm going to go up like this, okay? This is how it's going to look. Okay, so we're going to do one line like this. Rub that out slightly, it's a little bit thick, that line is. Okay, we'll come back with a pen later on anyway. And then a little bit of red there. Now, with this bird, we then need to do, the head needs to come up and round like this. Now the back of the head isn't actually a circle, so it goes kind of flat, it flattens the back of the head here. Okay, now when you come to this bit, you have to do a little neck. So we go in there, and we're coming round now. And I mean, you can touch that there if you wanted to, but you don't need to. So with this, we're going to have a white piece, so it goes out like this, and then it drops it down quite straight here, and then he curves it towards the bottom here. There we are. So straighten it up a little bit at the top there, and then the eye, simply a curve like this, and it goes out and round and like this, okay? And then he's got the dot there. Okay, now we'll neaten all this up with a pen in a little while. So from about here, it goes straight out for the wing, okay? And then his neck comes in. We've then got this kind of shape, okay? Now from here, this is the kind of shape that I want you to do, like that, okay? Now we're going to bring the wing in, try and curve it like this, okay? And then it goes to this edge. That carries on straight. Get that line nice and straight if you can. You can use a ruler if you really wanted to. Now we'll go out for the bottom of his tail. Now from here, this line, this is going to be white. From this, we're going to go down to here, and then we're going to start curving. This is his tummy now, his belly, okay, and under where he's sitting on the muffin. Okay, and we're curving it round. This one now goes almost straight down, drawing like almost a pear shape here, but I want you to stop it there. Okay, now Jim Field's legs are quite funny. He has comical little legs on his, if you've seen my frog one, this is what he kind of does with the frog, really thin legs. And then you want 3 toes, feet. Again, nice and thin here. See if you can get this kind of angle going on, the same, almost the same angle there. 1, 2, 3, like that. Now you want to carry on with the belly, bring it down here, that's it, and then the bottom just marries up with this bit here. Okay, there we go. So there's your puffin, your basic puffin. Then you want the muffin. So Jim Field starts about here with his muffin. So he goes around. What you need to do is to curve it towards the end of this toe. Past this toe, curve it round. Now he does 1, the bottom of the muffin 2, smaller one, and he's got a bigger one. Okay, you can do your own, you don't have to do it the same as myself or Jim Field. Just showing you what he does really. Okay, and then the last one, this is where the last one goes. Now it goes out this way. Okay, and it comes back in, nice and curved to this there. Okay, then we've got, this is a tricky bit, I'll probably get a ruler for this now. So what you want to do is try and get underneath here where this one meets. You need it at about an angle like that, and then on this side halfway down here, so just put a little note there for myself. I would just, you don't need to do this straight, you want to try and get a curve in here, a little bit of a curve in here. So I'd do this freehand now. I'm try and get that angle similar to angle, so it looks about, you don't want to be doing this too much. Okay, so you want to get the angle about the same, otherwise the container for the the cup case isn't going to look great. So something like that, that looks about right. Okay, now try and get this curve in if you can. Just a little curve. He doesn't do much of a curve on his cakes or anything like that. I think animals are sit on it, so that's about it. Good. Okay, so now what I do is I'm using a fine liner. Okay, fine liner all the way around everything now. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to just go around this cake. Okay, so I'll go right across the top. I wouldn't now use a ruler. You can if you want to, if you're not confident. This bottom bit needs to be curved anyway. There. I'll go around the cupcake first. Try and avoid going over those toes. Okay, bring the toes in now. Try and get the toes in like that. You need a little bit of space to colour in. Like this. Up it goes, toes in, 3 toes, across here, like this. Curves at the top of the feet, sorry, top of the legs, then all the way down, curve it round, meet this up, all the way down, curve it round from whatever feels comfortable for you here. Okay, in there and round. Try and take this all the way round, up, like this, straight down here, end of his wing, cupcake, round all these curves, if you can, like this, okay? Jem Field's an amazing illustrator of children's books. He's done all sorts. This one, Oi Frog, Oi Cat, Oi Dog. Some of his most successful ones with, I'm just going to leave that actually, I'll tell you why later. I've got another highlighter, sorry, a fine liner, which is a light brown, so this is what you want to be doing. Just leave that there now. Okay, curve it around here. And then don't forget, this goes down towards the start of his beak. And this goes up towards the start of his beak here. Okay, there we go. So, eyes next. In with the eye, round, black dot. Okay, and that is our Puffin on a muffin. So now to the colouring. Now you could use black for this, but actually the original is kind of dark grey. So we're going to do the same as what Jim Field does. So this section here is going to be, well, it's actually going to be much darker than this, so it's almost going to be black. Okay, so again, just press on nice and hard. Okay. But some of this is going to be black and some I'm going to leave grey. Okay, so that's because actually his puffins, he doesn't do them black. Not all black anyway. Okay, so we're going to go round this nice and firm. Try and avoid any white space if you can. You shouldn't see the white paper underneath. Okay, you can take as much time as you want over this. I'm doing this really quick for this video, so otherwise the video is going to end up about 4 hours long. Okay, this is going to go out on day 10 of the UK school closures and corona outbreak. Hope everybody's well. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're filling your days with lots of activities around the home and your gardens, and people are doing all sorts of TikTok videos and doing the homework. If you are a student, hopefully parents have been able to get some work done. Hopefully these videos are working a little bit. Good news is I've gone past 106 currently subscribers, and we've gone past 1,500 watches of the videos, which is in less than 2 weeks, which is amazing. So please carry on sharing things. The first part of this video featured my daughter Esmae, who's 4, and it was filmed by, when I was reading the bedtime story to Esmae, my other daughter Amelia filmed the video for me. And they've actually got their own YouTube channel, a little bit like Trinity and Madison, or Sis and Bro on YouTube. Theirs is called Fun Tube Sisters, so I'm sure with a bit of a household competition at the moment. I've just gone past the girls. They've got 98 followers, but they've been doing it for a little while longer. So if you like watching other kids messing about on the internet, going for dog walks, and they've done all sorts of daft things on there. I do most of that filming for them. They're actually getting used to being in front of camera now, which is really good for their schooling when they've got to perform and things. One of my daughters is in a street dance crew called the Hooligans. So the next video I'm going to do is a request from Amelia's, my 8-year-old dance teacher Chris. He's asked for the Joker, so I'm going to try a bit of a piece of art, Joker art, a bit like Batman, that I've put on there today, because he's requested that, so I'll have a go at that tomorrow probably. Okay, so I'm just going over this now with black over this grey, just to darken it up a little bit. Okay, particularly on this outside edge here, this outside edge, and then this edge of the wing is much darker. Okay, you can just play around with shading really. Underneath here, much darker if you can. Okay, there we go, and his other wings behind here. Okay, we just darken this up a little bit here. Okay, and this is much darker under his chin and into his neck. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So I mean, you can spend ages more on just getting this nice definition of shade around his head. If you have got the book at home, I mean, you could copy straight from Jim Field's work himself. I'm sure you could probably do as good, if not a better job than me. So we're going to go through this now. Red here, I've got quite a bright red. Okay, bright red in here. However, I'm going to just leave a line of white there. Okay, so I'm going to colour right up to this. And then in that white line, Jim Field has done a few red lines through there, just to show there's a little bit of light on the top of his beak. He hasn't done the same at the bottom, on the bottom of his mouth here, or the beak, bottom of his beak. So orange, again, I'm just going to leave the top section white for a minute. Okay, so we'll shade in nice and firm, get it nice and crisp with no white showing through. Okay, if you can achieve that, it'll almost look like a print rather than colouring in, which is the effect you're looking for really. Okay, in the bottom here, that's just all orange. There we go. Okay, now I've got my little Stabilo. This is a light brown here, 0.88. It's from a range of, I think it's 28. 25 different fine liner pens, and Jim Field has done a brown down this line there. Okay, now I've just missed one colour, so I'm going to show you. It's a little bit of green, the back of his beak. Okay, and it curves like this. So I purposely left that towards the end so I can show you. That'll reduce the amount of white face that he's got. Okay, and then Jim Field then does black behind this. So just follow this down now. Okay, there we go. Now the eye, if you've got a red pencil crayon, that's fine, but I'm using again this Stabilo 0.88 fine liner marker pens. Jim goes around some of his characters' eyes like this, just to give you a bit more interest, I think. There we are. That's what he does. Okay, now onto the browns. I'm going to use a lightish brown to start off with. I'm going to shade in the top of this Muffin light brown. You could do this any colour you like. In Oi Frog, you get to the page that says Puffins sit on muffins, like I read earlier on. There's pinks, there's yellows, there's oranges. It doesn't really it doesn't matter what colour you do. Do any colour you like. So I'm doing a lightish brown, just nice and light here. You don't need to press on too hard. But you do need to colour up as much as the white as you can. Okay, underneath his body here, I'm going to do it much darker in a little while, just to show you how shade can really help. Even on a cartoon like this, it means it just gives you a bit of 3D so that it looks like the Puffin is actually sitting on the muffin. And that's really important. If you can do that, you'll be doing very well. Okay, so if you've got a big space like this, try and go in the same direction if you can. Here we go. That's it, that's good. Here we go. Straight through here. Just be careful you don't go over the edges now. Okay. It's going to be a lot lighter underneath than this cupcake casing at the bottom. I'll get my hand out of the way in a minute. There we go. I'm still trying to get used to keeping out of the way of the filming of these videos with my hand not in natural position to draw or colour in with. I tend to get a lot closer to my work if I'm normally doing this without videoing. I've got plenty more art that I've been doing, canvases mainly, commissions and things for people over on my Instagram page. I'm on there, I'm Paul Bembo Artist on Instagram. I've got a Twitter account as well, Paul Bembo Art, and a Facebook group if you want to join that over there. You're very welcome to follow my artwork. That's Paul Bembo Art again. I was going to try Paul Bembo Art on Instagram, but it had already been taken by somebody. Imagine somebody with the same crazy name as me. Just a light, really light now. This is a really light brown, almost like a creamy colour. Okay, now you just want to go the same direction if you can, all the way down here. Okay, but nice and light. Okay, you want some of the white showing through here. Much lighter this is. It's like if you got a cream or something like that, I suppose you could do like a fleshy colour if you wanted to, or a yellow, like a lemony yellow. Some of the cupcakes in this book are bright green, pink. Some of the cupcake containers, what do you call these? I don't bake. Cases. There we go. Just came to me there. It's the latest is being filmed late on Wednesday evening to go out on Thursday. Okay, so that'll do me now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just show you how you can shade in the same colour, but underneath here to give you a little bit of depth, so that the top layer looks like it's over the top of this bottom layer. Okay, so this is the kind of effect we're doing. There we go. So what you want to do is almost like mirror this shape here around this outside underneath. So you've got those curves coming in underneath. Okay, Jim Field doesn't do very much of this actually, but I think it looks really good like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to my fine liner now, because in the original artwork he's got lines like this going down. So if you can do this, that's great. Do it freehand as well. Jim Field doesn't use a ruler for this. I don't think you should either. Some of them you want to be a little bit closer together. Okay, and when you get on this side, you're just almost angling back towards the middle slightly. And you want to try and keep this, the angle here you see, on the edge you've got, keep going down that angle until it straightens up in the middle. So go straight down in the middle and then slightly angled on both sides. So there we go, that's exactly the effect that I would want, okay? Now, just a little bit of shading in here with this, the same colour underneath, but really light. Okay, really light. And we're going to bring that through this way. A little bit darker underneath here. Okay, like this. I'm going to curve it round. And then I'm going to go for my trusty silver and grey with a bit of sparkling. Ever so slightly. I'm hardly touching the page here. Just suggesting a little bit of shade around the outside of this. Maybe a little bit more across the bottom here. Okay, now orange for his legs. You can go two ways with orange here. This is a bit duller. This is more of a reddy orange. But Jim Field uses this. I'm going to use the same orange I've used up here to match. Okay, so we go through the legs here. Okay, we're nearly finished now. We just have a little bit more detail on the shading. Okay, particularly this top of the cupcake. So what I want you to do is try and get used to shading in a little bit darker. I'm using a darker brown now, and I want you to really press down on this underneath here. Get much darker brown going in. Okay, blow away any excess crayon. Okay, much darker in here, much darker underneath his body here, and much darker under here. Okay, there we go. So you just want a little bit of extra this shading under here. Okay, this is what I like to do on these kind of pieces of art, a little bit grayer than brown. So I'm just going over the brown now with the grey a bit more, so just to give you a bit more interest in the artwork, really. Shading, so that's really brought it forward, hasn't it? Off the page, which is great. Okay, now with this silver, what I do is I do this kind of thing. So you just want to suggest that this is what Jim Field does. It doesn't take too long, and it just does lines like that. Okay, you could do whatever you wanted underneath, but darken it up under here. Okay, there we go. It's good, like that. Okay, now slightly difficult now, because what you want is a much darker brown. It's a bit too red, that. Much darker brown, almost black. So I'm actually going to do black for mine, just because I've used the darkest brown I can find. So if you go a black over the top of brown, it'll actually just look like a really dark brown. So this is where he's got the dots on the cupcake. Okay, so this is what we're doing now. Some of them larger, some of them smaller. Okay, so we've got some dark, tiny dots going on. You could do this, I suppose, with a fine liner if you wanted to, but you don't really need to. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about with the Jim Field artwork. So that is a Puffin. What about Puffins, asked the frog. Puffins sit on muffins, said the cat. Love these books. Hopefully you've enjoyed the story as well. If you're very young, you might have just had the bedtime story, and if you're a bit older, like Amelia, you might have done a little bit of artwork as well. Okay, so that is our Jim Field piece of artwork for tonight. Stay safe out there, guys. All the best. See you soon.